Stop. Stupid dope moves. They loose living, party and bullshitting. Podcast girls, they putting they 2 cents in. They loose living, party and bullshitting. Podcast girls, they putting they 2 cents in. Tea sipping, nothing's off limits at the tables they sitting. Zero filter, aka no chill. Grab your seat, bells and popcorn, it gets real. Hello, where you at? Debbie, where you at? Going live, log on. Podcast is the trap. Loose slipping, yeah. They loose slipping, ayy. Loose slipping, ayy. They loose slipping, ayy.
Alright, so welcome everyone to the weekly wrap-up of Lucid's podcast. I'm your girl, Miss Fierce, and it is just me tonight. So this is the weekly wrap-up, or we can call this episode 29. I think we'll call it episode 29, but it is a weekly wrap-up because there's been so much stuff going on in the entertainment industry that we have to speak on it. Not just the entertainment industry, but just in the news itself. So let's go and let's get right into it. So first thing first, of course, everyone has heard and or seen the big blow up between Cardi and Nicki Minaj. I'm not even going to say that it was a fight because it clearly was not a fight. Nothing connected, but let's get into it. So my opinion regarding the Cardi and Nicki Minaj fiasco is one. Nicki Minaj is very bothered by Cardi B and her success. And everyone knows that Nicki Minaj is a mean girl. She only deals with a few women in the music industry. She's been the only it girl when it comes to rapping. So the girls have her shook, and Cardi B clearly has her shook as well. Because, come on, they did a whole song together, Motorsport with the Migos, and shot a video. And, there were a few scenes when it was the Migos and Cardi B, and Nicki is nowhere to be found. Nicki was by herself. And she's been very passive-aggressive towards Cardi. And I think in response, Cardi B has been passive-aggressive with her, has clearly tried not to speak on it in interviews because, of course, they have always been asked, if they had beef with one another, and they kind of just danced around it. So, of course, we've seen the video of them at Fashion Week at a party, and, Cardi is clearly saying, bitch, come here, and Nicki Minaj is like, I'm standing right here. So, in the video, you can see, I've seen a few videos of it, and I've seen Cardi taking her shoe off, Cardi throwing the shoe at Nicki, because that's her move. If you watch on Love and Hip Hop, that shoe gets thrown. And, of course, Nicki Minaj's bodyguard, Riley, was there, which I really find Nicki and Riley's relationship to be very fugazi, because Riley was once the quote-unquote best friend of Remy Ma, and now you're basically best friends with her nemesis, Nicki Minaj. And I'm the type of person where if I was ever your friend and if I was ever loyal to you, I'm not going to go dance with the enemy because you and I are no longer cool. Now, I don't know what happened in Riley and Remy Ma's relationship to cause it to break down, but I really just feel like Riley is a fake individual, and she means no good to anyone, and she kind of just wants to be seen and keep her name in the limelight, and being around Nicki Minaj does that for her. So anyway, after the whole fiasco, because I literally just the night that it happened, which was about a week ago, I woke up to seeing this shit on social media, and it was just crazy. So Cardi B put up a note on her Instagram, which is still up, by the way, as of today, which is September the 11th. And Cardi B put, I've let a lot of shit slide. I let you sneak diss me. I let you lie on me. I let you attempt to stop my bags, fuck up the way I eat. You threatened other artists in the industry, told them if they work with me, you'll stop fucking with them. I let you talk big shit about me. I addressed you once in person. I addressed you a second time in person. And every time you copped the plea. But when you mention my child, you choose to like comments about me as a mother, make comments about my abilities to take care of my daughter, is when all bets are fucking off. I worked too hard and come too far to let anybody fuck with my success. Bitches talk all that shit in they raps, but in real life, they pussy. This shit really is for entertainment. Now, I feel like Cardi had every right to go at Nicki the way that she did. And this is my thought process on it. Cardi is Cardi. Cardi has always been Cardi, and I feel like Cardi is going to be Cardi for a very, very long time. Cardi's the type of person where she's not really going to go back and forth with you on social media. When she sees you, it's on site. Now, on site means on site. It doesn't mean we set up a time and a place and we schedule to have this altercation where it won't be in front of a bunch of people and we won't be looking stupid. It's on site. And I feel like Nicki Minaj, she's the type of person that throws the rock and hides her hand and attempts to play the victim in a lot of cases. Which, this is my thing. Nicki has had this coming. Whether it had been from Cardi B, Lil' Kim, Remy Ma, she has had this comment. And Cardi B just so happens to be the person to come at her. So, Nicki has Queen Radio, unfortunately. And so she decided to speak her piece on Queen Radio. So, I actually listened to some snippets of it. I didn't really listen to the whole programming because I really just cannot take a large dose of Nicki all at once. Like, I just cannot do that. So, basically, I heard Nicki Minaj having a girl call in that has beef with Cardi B and explaining her and Cardi's situation where supposedly Cardi spoke on this particular girl's child back in 2014. I heard Nicki Minaj call Cardi B a pig, a disgusting pig, excuse me. She called out Cardi B regarding the strip club incident that we spoke on one of our episodes with the girls that worked the bar. Supposedly one of them, Baddie B, or Baddie G, or Gigi, whomever, sleeping with Offset and her coming up there. Nicki said, the Lord gave you a blessing, and the only thing on your mind once you gave birth was to attack people and stop their bags. She shouted out that Cardi B came into her fucking culture. She stated that Cardi B has called black women roaches. You getting girls beat up because of what your man is doing. Real bitches never do that. You never attack the woman. You take that over your fucking man. She stated that she's never spoken or will never speak on anyone's parenting, which that's a lie because she clearly spoke on Remy Ma's parenting when they were going back and forth and stated what type of mother leaves her son over a stack or something like that when Remy shot her friend and went to jail. So I just really feel like I don't think this is going to stop Cardi B and her success. I really don't. I don't think it's going to stop it. I don't think it's going to stop Nicki Minaj and everything that she has going. I never really been like a really big Nicki Minaj fan. I did like her in her underground days, but I really just cannot listen to a whole body of work from her because she's just too much for me. I've been following Cardi since before she was on Love and Hip Hop, like when she was just a stripper and just doing funny videos on Instagram. So I've been following her for a long time, so I'm just like not just new to jumping on the Cardi B train. I hope another altercation does not happen between them. But if Nicki Minaj continues to be this passively aggressive, bothered woman towards these newer females coming into the game, then this is what's going to happen because you can only poke a sleeping bear so long. And everyone knows Cardi is not the one to just sit there and go back and forth with you. She's really about what she speaks about in her raps, unlike some of these other entertainers, some of these other rappers. I just hope that, and this, she's probably already thought this, she might already feel that she has a lot to lose now. Maybe not as much as Nicki, but she's getting there. She's got the record deal, she has her daughter, she has her husband, she has all these endorsements, she's got her music, she's got a lot more money than she had before. And, you know, I really feel like Nicki Minaj tried to discredit Cardi B's career, because she said Cardi B built her career off of payola, but Cardi B really worked, you know, from the ground up to get her career popping, you know, doing shows, you know, even going on Love and Hip Hop to broaden her horizon. Like, Cardi B made herself, her and her fans, and with the help of the Lord, of course, she built up her fan base. So I really feel like Nicki Minaj tried to discredit her, and I really feel like this is something that Nicki has felt all this time. You know, Nicki's always trying to play the hand like, you know, she likes these girls. She doesn't have a problem with these girls. But clearly, Ma, you have a problem. So, you know, I just think security is going to be a lot more tighter, you know, in upcoming events if they invite both Nicki and Cardi, because the entertainment world is, like, really a small world. They're going to run into each other eventually again. So, those are my thoughts on that. So, on to some positive news. We had the Black Girl Rock that was on BET, and, you know, they did a really great job with the Aretha tribute with Jasmine Sullivan and Miss Fantasia. And as I was watching the tribute, which was a great tribute, I got to thinking, like, whenever we lose someone who's been such a force in, you know, R&B and soul music, such a legend, such as Aretha Franklin, you know, when they do these tributes, the people that they get to do the tributes are, you know, they have so much soul, they sing so great, but unfortunately, like, their music does not reach the masses, or they're not as successful as their counterparts. And I really don't like to compare people, but, like, everyone knows I'm a big Beyonce fan. Like, that's my mother. I love her. She can do no wrong in my eyes. But, and I will say this, Beyonce does not have, I don't think she had the range or the soul to pull off the Aretha Franklin tribute the way that Fantasia and Jasmine Sullivan did. Because that's a lot of soul, that's a lot of real kick your shoe off type of singing that they brought down the house with. And they bodied that tribute. But, you know, Beyonce does not possess that type of quality to do that type of tribute. And unfortunately, you know, Fantasia and Jasmine Sullivan, they're successful in their own right, but they'll never reach the stars that Beyonce have touched, so to speak. And once again, I'm not trying to compare, but I guess I am comparing. But, you know, I was just thinking about that, and I was like, damn. You know, we see Beyonce and Rihanna and, you know, Jennifer Lopez, and, you know, they're selling out these arenas, and they're always on the TV, you know, at these shows and whatnot. But the only time we kind of see Fantasia, you know, a Fantasia or a Jennifer Hudson or a Jasmine Sullivan is when someone in our community who is a legend has passed away, and they have to do these tributes. But, you know, we really don't see, you know, the Ticketmaster, the arena sales, nothing like that. So I just kind of thought that was funny. That was on my mind about that. But that's just my thought process. Let's see what else happened this week. Well, let's see. Love and Hip Hop Hollywood was on this past Monday. And, of course, now they're getting into the storyline of Tierra Marie and Abdul Akbar with her sex tape dropping. And it kind of just reminded me of when Mimi and Nico did the whole sex tape thing. Like, they're pointing the fingers at one another. You know, Tierra saying, I didn't do it, you did it, you had my password to my Instagram, you uploaded it, yada, yada, yada. This is my thing. Like, if you're going to make tapes like that with someone, first of all, I think that's just something that you should do with your husband. I don't think you should do that with someone you're just dating, and especially someone you just met. But if you do choose to do it because it's your prerogative, you can do whatever you want to do, get a hold of that tape. Don't keep it with that man, because for some reason, when men get upset, when things just don't go their way, if they have that type of footage of you or pictures, they just decide to post it to social media, you know, with no care for what type of consequence it could bring. And it's not just posting it to social media. Like, I grew up with a lot of men, and before social media was popping, my male friends or their cousins, they would get pictures or videos from females and stuff, and they would show it to one another. So, that's just something that men do for whatever reason, and it makes them feel better. So women, you just gotta be a little bit more wiser, be a little bit more smarter before you do that type of stuff. But I just really feel like the rest of the season of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood is gonna focus on Tierra and the sex tape with Akbar, and then you also got Lyrica and A1 going at it with everyone's kind of like them versus everyone, because everyone is kind of thinking like she did sleep with Safari. Safari's kind of acting like a little girl, just really not touching on it, not even just saying, yes, I did it, or no, I did it, which I just think like that he's showing who he really is, or he's just trying to get more camera time. But Safari, like, just don't lie on your penis. Like, if you know you did not sleep with that girl, just say you didn't sleep with her, honey. And just let that be that, because Lyrica was looking a little suspicious in the beginning. And, her running to, what's his name, Rockstar, supposedly that's been her best friend, and going to him with all her problems, that she was having with A1, knowing that him and A1 kind of don't see eye to eye. Like, that's just something that you don't do, because especially if you've been with someone for a long time and it's just not definite that y'all have broken up, you don't go run to the next man about your problems, because he's certainly going to bring it up, when he gets the opportunity. So don't embarrass yourself like that. So also this week, Drake and Meek Mill finally made up. Drake bought Meek Mill out in one of his shows. I want to say it was Boston, but I could be wrong. And they made up, which I think their beef was just stupid to begin with, and it had just went on way too long. I will say it was very interesting in the beginning when it started, because Meek Mill, went on Twitter with his Twitter fingers saying Drake didn't write his rhymes. And I commended Drake for not going back on Twitter, going back and forth with Meek, but really just dropped it in 2 songs. That's really how you're supposed to do it. But I'm glad they did make up, and, hopefully we'll get some hot new music out of Drake and Meek Mill with that, because they've done songs before that, are really catchy and that I like. So I was happy to see that. Let's see here. Forbes released their, what's the name of the list? Like the most rich, whatever the list is, the people who's made the most money in hip hop this year. And Jay-Z, of course, topped the list. So shout out to Jay, Bay's husband. There's more money for Beyonce. Let's take a look. Lil Wayne released the cover today for the Carter 5. Now, I'm really interested to see how this is going to play out, because the Carter 5 has really just been on the shelf for the longest. So hopefully he went back and recorded new music for it, or maybe he had some songs on there previously that he just kind of let sit on there. So I don't know. I'm a Wayne fan, but after the Carter 2, I really didn't like the way the rest of his music was going, because it was all kind of sounding the same to me. So let's just see what the Carter 5 does, because it's been sitting on the shelf for a while. Also today, the list came out with 2018's top 10 best-selling hip-hop albums so far this year. Drake is at number 1 with 2.9 million. Cardi B is sitting at number 3 with 1.5 million. Migos is sitting at 1.3 million. Black Panther soundtrack came in at number 5 with 1.2 million. Let's see. Travis Scott, Post Malone, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar rounds out the list, and Post Malone is on there as well. So Cardi B is actually the only female on this list with the top 10 best-selling hip-hop albums. So shout out to Cardi B. Numbers do not lie. She certainly posted that on her Instagram today to let everyone know that numbers do not lie. So I guess that is a response to Nicki Minaj, of course. Also, a picture came out today of Beyonce and LaToya Luckett. LaToya Luckett went to go see Beyonce at her show last night, which I believe was in Arlington, Texas. And it was just really, really cute. Beyonce's holding her belly because, LaToya Luckett is pregnant currently. And, it's just good to see them together, the original members of Destiny's Child, because honestly, all of that happened when they were all so young. They were teenagers coming into their womanhood. And, it might have had a lot to do with Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles, because he was managing them at the time. So they're all grown women now, and it was good seeing them together. Maybe one day
possibly 20 years from now, we'll see the original members of Destiny's Child, perform. I honestly would rather see Beyonce, Kelly, LaToya, and Latavia on stage together versus seeing Michelle with her struggle dance move. That's just my opinion. I can do without Michelle Williams. I honestly can. I'm so sorry, but I'm just telling the truth. Also, we have Hurricane Florence coming towards the Carolinas and Georgia. So I'm in South Carolina, so anyone who's in South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and I think possibly Virginia who is listening and who is having to evacuate, my thoughts and prayers are with everyone. I hope, we'll be safe. We won't have too much rain. Hopefully Florence will just turn around like, what, I was just kidding. I really didn't want anything with y'all. So, also in this week, Jeffrey Owens, the guy who played, Alton from The Cosby Show, has landed another role. He's gonna guest star on NCIS New Orleans. So, yeah, blessings are just coming down for him, after that picture leaked of him working at Trader Joe's. And he did say that he started working at Trader Joe's because his residual checks from The Cosby Show has stopped, because all of the backlash that The Cosby Show was getting because of Bill Cosby and his sexual allegations. So it kind of had stopped his bag. But now he's getting to a new bag. So, excuse me, shout out to him. Let's see, Bow Wow opened up earlier this week about his past drug addiction, but not trying to make his addiction like a minute thing. But I'm just so Bow Wow. Like, he really just gets on my nerves. Like, I wish he could just go back to cute Bow Wow with the braids, because I just don't really like old man Bow Wow. I just don't. Let's see. So also, this week, Sony Columbia Pictures, they're working on a biopic about the late Old Dirty Bastard. And one may know Dirty Bastard was a member of the Wu-Tang Clan, and his cousin is RZA, which I really didn't know that. So learn something new every day. So RZA is the one who got the ball rolling, so to speak, with the blessings of Old Dirty Bastard's family to get the film started. So now they're looking for a director. So I definitely would be interested in seeing that movie, because I really don't know much about Old Dirty Bastard, except that he was very eccentric in what he did and who he was as a person. And, he died really early as well. Gosh, and I forgot this. I don't know why I didn't mention this earlier, but rest in peace to Mac Miller. He died also, actually last Friday, like right after I think I posted the last episode. It came down the pipe that he had passed. They think it's from a drug overdose, but they're waiting on a toxicology report. So rest in peace to Mac Miller. A very talented young man. I'm not going to sit up here and fake like, oh, I just knew all his music. Excuse me, and then I was his biggest fan, but I did listen to some of his songs. And I was actually listening to one of his songs on Tidal, not even knowing it was him, called Hurt Feelings, that I really, really like, and realized last night that it was Mac Miller's song. So rest in peace to him. Let's see, supposedly future possible baby mother, Joy Chavez, who is also the baby mother of Bow Wow, has been going back and forth with Future's camp. Someone had asked Shooter, I think that's the name, Shooter, what was Joy's number, and he replied, who? Like, who is Joy? And she was like, stop playing with me. The whole camp is goofy. So if she is pregnant by Future, I feel like he will stand up and, do right by his child. But it's kind of sad, if he is kind of treating her offstandish and she's pregnant with his child. You just don't do people like that. But, who knows what's going on or what went on behind doors in their relationship. We can only really speculate. So, but other than the Cardi B and the Nicki news, I think this week has been kind of slow as far as news. Nicki and Cardi just kind of really just took the cake, of course, because, who knew that was going to happen? A lot of things going on in the news, but, I kind of don't want to touch on that because it's kind of depressing. And, watching the news can be depressing. And when you guys come on here, I don't want you to be depressed. Kind of, want to uplift y'all and whatnot. And I know tonight's episode is kind of funny because it's just me, but hey, the show has to keep rolling. One monkey don't stop no show, so it is what it is. So that's our weekly wrap up. Got some things coming down the pipe for Loose Lips podcast, so stay tuned. Kind of just want to give y'all a little show to keep, the episodes up there, to keep y'all in tune, and want y'all to think that y'all have been forgotten about, because definitely love all of our listeners and appreciate all of the support that we get and whatnot. The email is looselipspodcast@gmail.com, and lips is with 2 S's. Do not forget to shop, shop looselips.bigcartel.com. You can easily go to our Instagram page. There's a link in there that'll take you to everything Loose Lips. And the Instagram is Loose Lips Pod. That's LOOSELIPSPOD. If you have any questions you want to ask us, any comments, any topics, email us, looselipspodcast@gmail.com. Once again, lips is with 2 S's. Or you can email shoplooselips@gmail.com if you have any questions about the apparel on the website. Make sure to follow me as well, Miss Fierce 86, Mrs. MZ. So that's with a Z, not with an S. And thank you guys for tuning in. My birthday is next week, so I really don't know if there will be a show next week or not. I really will try to give you a show next week to keep the content going. So once again, thank you everyone for tuning in to Loose Lips. That was our weekly wrap up. Hopefully Nicki and Cardi can, learn how to coexist. But if Nicki continues to be passively aggressive, well, she's just going to have to catch those hands again. All right, well, you guys, be good. Be safe to everyone who's in the track of Florence. And even if you're not in the track of Florence, just be safe wherever you are. Continue to loose lips, because nothing is off limits. Good night.